Your bus drivers and the people that were hauling
Greenwood, live with Red Eye Radio.
And it was always important to
Getting
you
to see him tonight.
to have that relationship with those people who did that job as well.
Well, absolutely. At one time, we were running 3 buses and 2 tractor trailers. We were touring with Alabama most of the time for about 3.5 years. But in our own performances, if we're going down the road, after we finish a major show, I like jumping in the truck and talking to the truck driver for about the first 100 miles. I like to know what's on his mind. And it gives me a feel also of what kind of music he likes and the people he touches base with. I always also like my drivers fresh, and I like them sleeping when I'm working, because that's the only way we can actually keep up and make sure we keep the trucks on the road.
Yeah. You know, it's just great. A whole string of #1 hits over the years, and so many of those songs have just been ingrained in our hearts, and it's always great. What's it like to be able to, hang out with some folks like you did today at the Red Eye booth and shake some hands and talk to those folks and get that direct feedback from your fans?
Well, I love that, and I've always done that since we started our touring career, particularly pulling into a truck stop where you go to the rack and you turn the rack around and it has those cassettes lined up. If we were at MCA and all the cassettes were blue, so I could identify if it was Reba McEntire, George Strait, or Barbara Mandrell, or me and the Oak Ridge Boys. And every time that I talked to a truck driver, I said, "What kind of music you listen to in your truck?" And he said, "You've just named the 5 artists I have in my cassettes." Of course, who remembers a cassette? Anybody remember a cassette? Yeah! My kind of people! Right on. So I had a BMW for about 19 years, and my wife and I drove it for 4 or 5. I gave it to my older son, who's graduating college this year out of Washington and Lee. He's going to get a PhD in cancer research at Vanderbilt. He drove it for 4 years. I gave it to my younger son, who's graduating high school this year, and he was going to drive it for the next 4 years, and he said, "Dad, I will not be able to drive your BMW." And I said, "Why not, son? It's a 740 IL. He said, "It has a cassette player." "Really? Is it that important, son?" Yes, it was. That's when I discovered how important music was while you're driving along the highway. So truckers and bus drivers and people who listen to those things, I still pass people on the highway. I rarely let people pass me. And I look over to the car to my right, and there's somebody with headphones on. That means music is part of their life. Everything we do is surrounded by music. So thank you, fans, for making music my life and making my life better because of the music you buy.
Lee, thank you so much. Lee Greenwood, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, I'm going to sing for you one song, and then I've got to go because my son is flying to Cancun, Mexico, and I have to be home. And my wife is home waiting for me tonight in Nashville, Tennessee. This is the song I sang the other night for the President of the United States. This is the 4th president I've sang it for, including Ronald Reagan, George Bush Sr., George Bush Jr., which appointed me to the NAA, and now President Donald Trump. And not that that's important to me by any stretch. What's important is that it unified America on times we needed it. During the Gulf War, Katrina, and the attack on America. Here's my anthem, God Bless the USA. I brought my band in a box. If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. Sing it! God bless the USA. Yeah, yeah. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee,
Woo!
across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA. There's pride in every